You're sick. You're really fucking sick, you know. I ain't talking about that Rona shit. No, that ain't it. What you got is in the pits. Bottom of the barrel, lower than a shark shit shadow. You got a big mouth, you talk that shit.
Oh, just got a bobo. I'm sorry.
Vault opening. Welcome to the vault.
Hello, what is up, you dazzling diamonds and the others? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda Kyle, and this is the vault. Anyway, you guys, let's jump straight into today's video. Alrighty then, you guys. Today we are talking about the Umlando hit maker, right? I think his name is Toss or Toss. For the duration of this video, I'll probably be saying Toss. There's no master of pronunciation, potato type of situation. You know what I mean? Anyway, so Toss was performing at an event, right? And in this clip that I saw on the internet, it seemed like the whole situation was very nice. Everybody was having a good time. He was enjoying his performance. You know, things were just going really well. Until suddenly, out of the blue, he collapses. Now, apparently, according to the vlogs on the internet, they say that he was suffering from exhaustion because he's been pushing the Umlando what's this song since December, right? And in in all these cases where artists have to perform night after night after night, I always ask myself, how do they do it? Because I mean, me just doing YouTube and doing whatever I do around the house, or if I'm running errands, at the end of the day, I feel extremely exhausted. And the next day, I usually plan to just relax, or maybe just have a day where I'm editing or researching or just straight up chilling, because if I'm doing a lot of things the previous day, I'm going to be tired. And I always ask myself, how do these artists actually freaky dickily do it? They must be superhuman or something like that, right? So my initial reaction when I saw Toz falling to the ground was, what the hell is actually freaking going on? Type of situation. I asked myself, and I know that many of you have asked yourself this very question as well. My question was, what the hell is that nigga on? You know, that would make him be on this level, and then 2 seconds or a second later, he's down on the ground, out cold. Type of situation. That was my reaction. That's how I felt when I saw it initially happening. This video is not to say that this guy is on any type of drugs. I guess I can say that word. Drugs or anything like that. I'm not trying to cause or insinuate or cause people to get rattled up and thinking that he is really on drugs. I'm just saying that my initial first response, first reaction was, what the hell is this guy on? And I need to obviously stay the hell away from it type of situation, right? And I'm pretty damn sure that a lot of you, that thought did cross your mind. Now, Toss has come out to say that he put out a statement to say that he collapsed because he fainted, because he was exhausted, right? And when I saw that, I thought to myself, well, that's an understandable statement to put out, only because it is an understandable statement to put out. It is a generic statement to put out. It is something that people would say when when they find themselves in that type of situation. And now artist is now trending for all the wrong reasons type of situation, right? But my initial thought or response was, what is he on? He must be on something. I obviously could be wrong. And like I said, he did put out a statement to say that he was just exhausted. I'm just saying, my first thought was, he's on something. All right? So I'm not saying in this video that Toss is taking some drugs or whatever. I'm just saying that was my initial reaction, my initial response or take on the situation. What I want to get to in this video is the fact that, let's just say hypothetically speaking, that Toss was really on drugs, right? And then he came out the next day to say that, no, it's exhaustion. And now many of the other blogs are actually coming out and saying it is exhaustion. It was exhaustion. I find this very problematic, right? Because in some instances where celebrities or people alike say that it was just exhaustion, as time goes on, we start to find out that, this person actually is on drugs. It's a problem because I'm not saying don't take his word for it, but I'm also saying this has played out one too many times for us not to be skeptical of what the real situation is. And if we are coming out, and the bloggers and people alike, and even himself, comes out to say it was just exhaustion, thank goodness he's okay. And yes, thank goodness he is okay. If we are coming out and saying that, and there's actually a bigger problem at play, then we are all participating or enabling this problem. If there is a problem, not to say that there is a problem. This has happened one too many times, and this is the reason why I initially thought, what the hell is this guy on? MT once collapsed on stage. Apparently, allegedly, it was because he was taking too much lean. Right? If you know, you know what it is. Type of situation. But then the story twisted, and he was also exhausted or tired and all these things. And then months or years later, it came out that he was actually taking drugs. So you understand, we are part of the problem when we say, thank goodness, he's just exhausted, when we are not trying to dig deeper or say, like, dude, it looked the way it looked. We are enabling him to carry on with what it is he's carrying on with, because we are just going to come out and say, and give him the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, he's just exhausted. Whereas it looked the way it looked, and we all saw it, type of situation, you know?
You know that, you're meaning, your lady, your girlfriend, your bro. You meaning, you know that, you're meaning, your girl, your lady, your girlfriend, your bro. That's my bestie.
I'm just here to address Ndaba Ithunakele Zolo. I fainted on stage due to fatigue, yabo. So, ngifuna nje ngicabanga ukuthi ngigrind.
I just hope that moving forward, we are able to speak about these things, because drugs and any other type of addiction is a really big problem, not just in South Africa, but all over the world, and especially for artists. But if your camp or you come out and say, oh no, say this just to make it look right, or so that people don't cancel you or judge you because you have a problem. Addiction is a problem. It's like a mental illness. You understand? A person that is addicted is not a bad person. In my opinion, they're not a bad person. Obviously, they will be shunned by society and people because you're doing something that you've been told, or taking a substance that you've been told that this substance is bad for you, don't do it, it's addictive, and it will destroy your life, type of situation. But if we are saying that in one breath, and then when we are now suspecting that there is a problem, or a person has some kind of problem, and we don't say anything about it, we are part of the problem. We are enablers in this situation. You know what I mean? I say once again, I'm not saying that this artist he's on any drugs. If he is, I hope that he will and his camp will get help. And not the crazy thing is, in these type of situations, the artist that is bringing in the dough, right, is allowed, maybe not encouraged 100% and 10%, but is allowed by the people around him, because is allowed by their managers and the people that they are working with, that is around them, their entourage, to take drugs, because it's going to enable them to have more energy, more, it pumps them up. Because night after night, these people have to perform. And it gives them that extra boost of everything. Extra boost of confidence, energy, you name it. Drugs will do that for you, type of situation, right? But it becomes a problem when we are suspecting that there's a problem, but we are saying, oh, okay, alrighty then. I'm glad you're okay. Come back next week. Because next week he's going to come back and do the same thing if there is a problem, right? I'm just making this video because I want to say that as much as drug addiction is a mental illness, the people that could potentially benefit from this artist or this person having this drug addiction sometimes don't speak out, or sometimes don't guide that person and advise that person to be like, yo, this was really effed up. We need to fix the situation, because it's going to take money out of their pockets and many other people's pockets. Yet this person deteriorates and is speedily going right into the depths of hell, losing themselves. And when they are no longer hot and popping, the people that were around, that were okay with the situation because it benefited them, they disperse, they disappear, type of situation, right? This whole drug situation that is happening with artists, I want to be very clear and honest with you. It's never going to stop. It is never going to stop. And I'm sure that you guys have seen this play out before, where an artist has collapsed and they said this person was tired, only for months later for people to now start exposing that person. Now it's an exposed type of situation that, no, this person is addicted to cocaine, or this person is addicted to this, that, and the other. And then it's bad at that point. It's serious, right? I just find it very strange and very sad. However, I do want to say that I'm glad, because he did come out with a statement and he said that he was just exhausted. Oh, here's another thing that I find very strange about this whole situation, right? He apologized to the promoters. He apologized to the promoters and said that I hope that the event was successful after his little situation that happened.
I appreciate everything. So ngifuna nazi ukuthi ngigrand ngemnandi. I'll come back stronger, So yeah, and I wanted to apologize to the promoter for everything that happened. I hope the show went well afterwards. So yeah, shafike bafethu. Ngiyabonga blind full time. Sure.
Right? It's like somebody that is locked up for, let's say, murder, right? And they're innocent and they get pressured, maybe. I don't know what happens in these situations. But then they confess to the murder and they know that they didn't do it, because they want to get that plea deal or that type of situation. Why confess to something? Why apologize in this case now to something if you were not in the wrong? If you collapsed because you fainted and you were sick, baby, then you were sick. You were sick. You fainted, you're sick. You're tired, you're sick. Why apologize because you're sick? It doesn't make any freaking sense to me. When somebody starts to apologize and doesn't make clear what the apology is for, right? You need to make clear what it is that you're apologizing for in any situation, right? There's an element of guilt There's an element of I did something wrong and now I need to apologize. Why did he apologize? If he just fainted because he was exhausted, meaning that he was sick. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you guys? Right? You don't own up to something, or you don't apologize or confess to something that you did not do, that you are not guilty of. You don't apologize if something is burning you inside. Why? That means there's a disconnect. You're doing something wrong. You're guilty type of situation. I did see that in the apology video that he made, he was looking very fresh and very clean. Let's not forget that people that have addictions, there are people that are able to hide it very well and are very fully functional. Not everybody is down and out that takes drugs. I promise you, in the industry, all over the world, right? Even in South Africa, there are many celebrities that are doing drugs and we don't even know about it. Because they look fine, they're able to perform and do all these things. Why? Because they take whatever they need to take to go up, and then when it's time to go down, they take something else to go right back down. And it's a process. It's a process. As long as they're making money and they're fully functional, then the guy upstairs, whoever that is perfectly happy and satisfied. Type of situation. And I find it very unfair because once this person crashes and burns, nobody else crashes and burns with them. They are the only ones that will be getting cancelled. They are the only ones that will be untouchable, unbookable. But the people that were around them, and trust and believe, it's the people that are around them that supply them with these things. But when shit hits the fan, you're on your own. You are on your own type of situation. So now to close this video off, I'm not saying that Toss is on any drugs or anything. I'm just saying when he initially fell, that's the first thing that I thought. What is he on? Now that he has come up with a statement, I guess we are going to have to trust and believe his word and hope that months down the line that somebody's not going to come out and try to expose him, or him coming out one day and saying, I have a drug problem. Because we have seen it happening one too many times for us not to question what the hell is actually really happening here. This is weird. Does he need help? You know, our artists are not just money makers and cash cows. Yes, they do create employment for all the people around them, but damn, if somebody is in a tight situation or is dibber-dabbling in things that we all know you shouldn't be dibber-dabbling in. And I will never condemn anyone that is an addict or that is on drugs, because I do understand fully and 110% that addiction is an illness. Not only that, people that are addicted on drugs, your initial want to actually take that first hit or snort or whatever it is, right, is because you feel bad inside. You want to feel better. And once you feel that first initial high, you're like, oh my gosh, hi. You know what I mean? This is so good. I want to keep doing this because I always want to feel this way, because I always want to feel better. But the crazy thing about it is that you will always be chasing that first high. It will never be the same. It will never be the same. And that's the addiction. And then it starts to grow. And it becomes a situation, a really bad situation, right? Tikima's why this week spoke about, she said somewhere, I think it was on Twitter, when are we going to start having this conversation about drugs? And I honestly don't think that we're ever going to have this conversation, because the people that are benefiting from the people, the artists that are actually taking the drugs because they need the drugs to cope and function and perform and do all these things, are benefiting financially. You know what I mean? It's weird, and it's very, very strange, and it's very, very scary, and it's very, very freaking sad. I just hope that Toss is actually fine, and that he's not on anything, and that his video was really that genuine and honest, because I would hate to find out months down the line that he is actually on something, and somebody could have actually stepped in instead of thinking, this is my money maker, let me just brush it under the rug type of situation. Money is the root of all evil. Somebody has a problem, you need to help that person. You need to, and if they are coming up against you and giving, you need to be hard on them. That is it. That is it. Right? Until you fix the situation. And once an addict, you will always be an addict. That's the fact of life. You will never get off that train because you will always be chasing the first initial high. You will always be chasing that good feeling. And it doesn't mean that if you are watching this right now and you are an addict and you're in the situation, or you have a family member or someone that you love that is in that situation, it doesn't mean that that person that is addicted to that substance or thing or place or whatever is bad. They're not bad. They have a mental illness. And the situation is that they just want to feel better. Because without that thing that they are taking, they don't feel good. They're very depressed. They this, that, and the other. And initially, that is the reason why these drugs were created by the people that they were created by. Is to feel better, is to perform better. People need to understand what's actually really happening here. And drugs are not going anywhere. That's a multi-billion industry. And it's a fact. You don't just have street drugs. You have over-the-counter drugs. You have prescribed drugs. Drugs are drugs. And they are all addictive. Even alcohol is addictive. That's why they say on your label, this thing is addictive. You understand? So everybody's in trouble. And no, marijuana is not the gateway drug. Alcohol is. Everybody who has ever been addicted or is going to be addicted started with alcohol. We need to start at the basics, at the beginning, at the root of the problem. Because when you're drinking alcohol, why are you drinking alcohol? Because you want to feel better. Because you want to do better. Jana said on City Girls, let's take these shots for personality. It changes you, it alters you. And in that moment, you feel like, I'm a better person. I'm more talkative. I'm more bubbly. It's a fun time. You know, you can let loose. You feel like you're being yourself. But tomorrow, how do you feel? You're hungover. You feel shitty. A hangover is mild compared to coming down from drugs. But it is all the same situation at the end of the day. People are taking all these things. We are all taking all these things. And that's a fact. We are all taking all these things because we want to feel better. And why do we want to feel better? Because something is wrong. Everything is wrong. For us to want to be in a different state, a different reality, a different phase. Just a different anything from the natural reality. From the naturalness of it all. So you understand? That's where it starts. That first drink. Whoever has ever consumed alcohol, you will never get that first initial buzz. That was like, oh, I feel nice. You'll never get it again. You'll keep getting buzzes, but it will never be the same. And that's the same thing with drugs. It will never be the same as the first one, but you're always going to be chasing that same situation. You're always going to be chasing that same situation. Right? So let's not cradle and cuddle and comfort people that have addictions. If they do, speak up about it. Ask for help. It's not easy. And it's for life. Unfortunately, it is for life. And it's not your fault. It's actually not your fault. We live in a shitty freaking matrix. And that is the problem. That is the reason why people want to feel better. That is the reason why people want to be accepted or be cool or feel more confident by taking that shot until everything is just going downhill. You know what I mean? I think that you guys know what I mean. Especially the dazzling diamonds. My niggas. Anyway, you guys, if you guys haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I absolutely do love you guys. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Take care of yourselves. Yeah?